The boy who gave everything. They saw 5 loaves and 2 fish, but I saw the faith of a boy who was willing to give everything. The day had been extraordinary, a symphony of 1,000 stories and 100,000 hopes. The crowd had followed me from town to town, their hunger for truth even greater than their hunger for food. It was a multitude, perhaps more than 5,000 men, not counting the women and children who were also present. We were in a remote place, a vast, green hillside near the Sea of Galilee, a place of quiet solitude that had now become a bustling city of seekers. I had been teaching them all day, speaking of the kingdom of God, of a love that transcends human understanding, and of a Father who sees every single one of them. My voice, which had carried over the hillsides for hours, was a wellspring of life for their weary souls. I saw their faces, a beautiful mosaic of expressions: awe, wonder, confusion, and a quiet, desperate hope. They were not just a crowd. They were individuals, each with a name, a story, a burden. I knew their needs, their pains, their longing for a love that was not bound by the rules of this world. My disciples were with me, their faces a mix of exhaustion and exhilaration, amazed at the sheer number of people who had gathered to hear my words. They were my partners in this ministry, my closest friends, and they were witnessing a moment that would define their faith for the rest of their lives. The sun, however, had begun its descent, its golden light casting long shadows across the hill. The day was fading, and with it, the reality of the situation was becoming more and more apparent. The vast crowd had not eaten. The people were tired, hungry, and far from home. It was in this moment that the practical mind of man came into direct conflict with the divine plan of God. The disciples, in their earnest concern, approached me with a logical solution to a very human problem: send the crowds away. My disciples, ever practical, ever concerned with the needs of the people, came to me as the sun was dipping below the horizon. Philip, his voice filled with a genuine sense of urgency, was the first to speak. This is a desolate place, and the hour is already late. Send the crowds away to go into the surrounding villages and buy food for themselves. He was not speaking out of a lack of compassion, but out of a deep sense of responsibility. It was the sensible thing to do. The logistics of feeding such a massive crowd in a remote location were, to the human mind, impossible. Andrew, ever the one to bring a detail to the forefront, added to the conversation. We have only 5 loaves and 2 fish here, but what is that among so many people? He had already done the math, the logical calculations of scarcity versus an abundance of need. He saw the problem in its stark reality: a few small pieces of food against a sea of empty stomachs. He saw the vastness of the crowd and the pitifulness of the resources. It was a crack in the perfect picture of the day, a moment where the spiritual and the practical collided. They were doing what any man would do. They were looking at the resources available and seeing an insurmountable obstacle. They saw a problem that could not be solved by human effort. They were looking at the situation through the lens of scarcity and logic. They were not seeing a miracle waiting to happen. They were seeing an impossibility. They had a logistical problem, but I was about to show them that I had a divine solution. The moment of tension was palpable, a quiet breaking point that hung in the air between us. They had presented their case. The problem was clear, the solution was logical, and the impossibility was undeniable. Their words, "send them away," were not just a suggestion. They were a resignation to the limitations of the world. They had reached their limit, and they were handing the problem back to me. It was a moment of profound revelation, not about their faith, but about their understanding of who I was. They could not comprehend a solution that did not involve human effort or worldly resources. The idea of feeding thousands of people with a handful of food was not just improbable, it was utterly absurd. They had not yet grasped that the rules of this world did not apply to the kingdom of God. They were at a crossroads of their faith, a moment where they had to choose between what their eyes saw and what their hearts believed. They were at the edge of the wilderness, and they were about to witness a miracle that would shatter their understanding of what was possible. I looked at them, not with a look of condemnation, but with a look of profound love. I was not angry with their lack of faith. I was inviting them to a deeper one. Their breaking point was not a failure. It was an opportunity. It was the moment where I could show them that my power was not bound by the limitations of their logic, that my provision was not dependent on their resources. I was about to show them that a small act of faith in the hands of a God who is abundant can become a feast for thousands. I did not condemn them for their logic. I simply turned their gaze from the problem to the solution. You give them something to eat, I said, my words a gentle command. The shock on their faces was a moment of profound silence. They had no idea how to respond. It was Andrew, ever the realist, who brought the meager offering to my attention. There is a boy here who has 5 barley loaves and 2 fish. He said it with a certain amount of resignation, as if to say, this is all we have, and it is nothing. But I saw it differently. I saw the small hand of a boy who was willing to give everything he had. I saw a heart filled with a simple, childlike faith that was not bound by the rules of this world. He did not see his food as a scarcity. He saw it as an offering. He did not see the vastness of the crowd. He saw a man who could do anything. In his small offering, I saw the key to a great miracle. I asked the disciples to have the people sit down in groups of 50. I did not ask for more food. I simply took what was given. I took the small offering in my hands, and my heart filled with a profound sense of gratitude. I looked up to the heavens and blessed the loaves and the fish. It was not a magical incantation. It was a simple act of prayer, a moment of connection with the Father who is the source of all abundance. The shift had occurred. The focus had moved from the scarcity of man to the abundance of God. The impossible had become a reality, not through a great effort, but through a simple act of faith and a prayer of gratitude. My purpose in that moment was not just to feed a hungry crowd. It was to demonstrate a profound truth that would echo through the ages, that God's abundance is always greater than human scarcity. The disciples saw a problem of logistics, but I was showing them a miracle of faith. I was teaching them that my power was not limited by what they had, but by what they were willing to give. The boy's offering was the catalyst for the miracle, a testament to the fact that a small act of faith in the hands of a great God can change the world. I was showing them that the kingdom of God is a place where the little becomes much, where the impossible becomes possible, and where a small act of generosity can become a feast for thousands. The 12 baskets of leftovers were not just a byproduct of the miracle. They were a profound symbol of the abundance of God. I was showing them that when we give our little to God, He not only meets our needs, but He gives us more than we could ever ask for or imagine. The leftovers were a physical testament to the truth that there is always more than enough in the kingdom of God. The miracle was a powerful lesson for all who witnessed it. It was a testament to the truth that God is not limited by our circumstances, our resources, or our lack of faith. He is a God of abundance, a God who can take a small, meager offering and turn it into a feast for thousands. He is a God who can take a heart that is empty and fill it with so much love that it overflows and blesses everyone around it. The closing impact of the miracle was felt not just in the full stomachs of the crowd, but in the changed hearts of the people who witnessed it. The disciples, who had once seen only a problem, now saw a solution. They had gone from a state of resignation to a state of profound awe and wonder. They had seen a miracle that defied all logic, a miracle that could only be explained by the power of God. The crowd, who had come for a spiritual feast, had also received a physical one. They had seen with their own eyes that the man who had spoken such powerful words was also a man who could provide for their deepest needs. They had witnessed a miracle that would forever change their understanding of who I was. The boy who had given his lunch was no longer a small, anonymous figure in the crowd. He was a hero of faith, a living testament to the truth that a small act of generosity can change the world. And I, who had orchestrated the entire event, was simply a reflection of the Father's love. I had not just fed a crowd. I had shown them that I was the bread of life, the one who could satisfy their deepest hunger. I had not just performed a miracle. I had revealed a truth that would change their lives forever. The miracle of the loaves and fishes was not just a story of scarcity and abundance. It was a story of a God who is willing to take a small offering and turn it into a feast for all. It was a story of a love that is so abundant that it can overflow and touch the lives of thousands. I see you. I see your hunger, not just for food, but for something more. The world tells you there isn't enough. Not enough love, not enough peace, not enough of what you truly crave. But I want to show you a different truth. The moment you are willing to give me the little you have, your doubt, your fear, your tired heart, I can take it and turn it into a feast. Do not let your scarcity blind you to my abundance. Your small act of faith, like the boy's simple offering, is the key to a great miracle. He didn't see a problem. He saw an opportunity to give. And in that simple act, he became a catalyst for a divine movement. The same is true for you. The world may see your smallness, your inadequacy, but I see your potential. I am not limited by what you lack. I am empowered by your willingness to trust me with it. I know you have felt overwhelmed, like the disciples trying to feed a crowd with nothing. You have believed the lies that the solution is to send the problem away. But I am here to tell you to look again. I have a solution that is bigger than your problem, a provision that defies all logic. The bread you are seeking is found not in your own efforts, but in my hands. The peace you crave is not in the world's answers, but in my presence. So, let me take what you have and bless it. Your brokenness, your pain, your shame, it is all I need. Hand it over, and watch as I turn it into something beautiful, something that will not only satisfy your soul, but will overflow and bless everyone around you. There is always more than enough in my kingdom. Just give me your little, and I will give you my everything. If my love and these words have touched your heart, know that this is just the beginning. I've prepared a new journey for you, and I invite you to take these next 3 steps with me. First, step into your purpose. Do not keep this message to yourself. Your story, your faith, is the greatest miracle I can show the world. Share this video with a friend, a family member, or a stranger who needs to be reminded that they are not alone. Your voice can be the echo of my voice, reaching a soul that feels unseen. Second, join this family. My kingdom is a community, and I want you to be a part of it. Subscribe to this channel and activate the notification bell. By doing this, you're not just getting new video, you are answering my call to a deeper relationship. Each new story is a new encounter I have prepared for you, a new step on the path of your destiny. Finally, let your faith be seen. The world needs to hear from you. In the comments below, share your story. How has my love changed your life? Your testimony is a powerful beacon of hope that can move mountains and silence the voice of doubt in others. When you speak, you give me the opportunity to work through you. Your voice, united with mine, can change the world. I am here, waiting for you to step forward.